If you've ever walked through a home built in the 1930s and noticed the roof still standing strong after nearly a century, you've probably wondered why modern lumber fails so quickly. Today, we're going to uncover the secret behind Depression-era roof boards that continue to endure while contemporary timber succumbs to rot and decay. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to After the Sirens and leave a comment sharing your thoughts on historic construction. There's a lot to explore here for history buffs and survival enthusiasts alike. The first and most critical factor is how the wood was sourced and treated back then. During the 1920s and 30s, lumber came primarily from old-growth forests. These trees had grown slowly, often for over a century, producing dense, tight-grained timber naturally resistant to moisture and insect damage. In contrast, modern lumber is almost entirely fast-grown from plantations designed for rapid harvest. While economical, this wood is less dense, more porous, and far more vulnerable to warping, splitting, and rot when exposed to the elements. The difference in growth rates and grain density alone explains why many Depression-era roofs have lasted over 80 or even 100 years. Another overlooked factor is how the wood was dried and milled. Old mill practices often involved air-drying boards for months, sometimes years, which allowed moisture to leave the timber gradually and evenly. This process stabilized the wood, minimizing the expansion and contraction cycles that modern kiln-dried lumber experiences, which can lead to cracks, warping, and gaps over time. Depression-era roof boards were also cut using large circular or band saws that produced smoother edges and straighter boards. This precision meant tighter joints and more consistent load distribution across the roof, a factor that's easy to underestimate until you see the difference in longevity firsthand. The species of wood used also played a huge role. Pine, fir and cypress were commonly used, but these were old-growth varieties. Cypress, for example, has natural oils that repel water and resist insect damage, while older pine boards are much denser than the soft plantation-grown pine of today. When you combine density with natural oils and slow growth, you end up with boards that can survive decades of exposure without chemical treatments. Modern boards often require pressure treatment or chemical preservatives to achieve anything near the durability of these historic timbers. The installation methods of the time contributed as much as the wood itself. Roof boards were often installed with precise overlaps and interlocking joints. Nail patterns and fastener types were designed to hold under both shifting loads and environmental stress. The craftsmen of the era understood how to orient boards to optimize drainage and airflow, reducing trapped moisture, a key factor in the prevention of rot. Today's builders often rely on uniform, thin sheathing and synthetic membranes which can fail if the wood beneath is already compromised. Interestingly, exposure to the elements sometimes made the boards stronger. Unlike modern wood, which decays rapidly when wet, old boards were naturally robust. Seasonal moisture cycles caused them to shrink and tighten, effectively locking joints and fasteners in place. This natural self-healing effect is something almost impossible to replicate with modern softwoods. Even decades of rain, snow and sun often leave Depression-era boards structurally sound. For modern builders, restoration specialists or survivalists wanting to apply these lessons, there are practical takeaways. First, sourcing reclaimed or old-growth wood for critical structural applications can dramatically increase lifespan. Second, consider slower drying methods for new lumber, such as air drying, to improve stability. Third, study traditional nailing patterns and board orientation used in historical roofs. This knowledge can improve both durability and resilience in modern constructions. Even minor adjustments like ensuring proper ventilation and board spacing can prevent premature decay. In practical terms, if you're rebuilding a shed, cabin or historic home using dense, slow-grown timber installed with traditional overlapping techniques, can save decades of maintenance. Survivalists and homesteaders can also benefit from this knowledge by choosing wood that naturally resists decay without relying on chemical treatments, a crucial factor in remote locations where maintenance supplies are limited. Ultimately, the story of Depression-era roof boards is more than just old wood lasting longer. It's a lesson in patience, craftsmanship and material integrity that modern building often overlooks. By studying the techniques and materials of the past, we gain insights into creating structures that endure far beyond the typical lifespan of contemporary builds. This knowledge bridges history, architecture and practical survival skills in a way few modern guides can offer. If this deep dive into historical construction has intrigued you, make sure to subscribe to After the Sirens. Leave a comment about your experiences with old wood or restoration, and share this video with fellow history enthusiasts. There's a wealth of forgotten techniques and resilient methods waiting to be rediscovered, and every subscriber joins us in uncovering the secrets of the past.